I want to thank Republican congressmen and women because what they did is incredible last night. And the Senate, the Republican Senate, we got, not with all of the things we did with the tax cuts and rebuilding our military, not one Democrat voted for us. And I think we use it in the campaign that's coming up, the midterms, because we got to beat them. But all of the things that we've given, and they wouldn't vote only because they hate Trump. But I hate them too, you know that? So it's sort of, I really do, I hate them. I cannot stand them because I really believe they hate our country. You want to know the truth? But it kicks illegal aliens off of Medicaid and food stamps and allows us to hire 3,000 new Border Patrol.
Is he having a rally right now? That looked like a rally, bro.
That's probably what it is.
Like, he didn't have to do that.
Little 4th of July rally.
Yeah.
Pre-4th of July rally. little pre-4th turn up with the president.
He just want to talk his shit. It's all right.
You can't say this man is not for the people, bro.
Here are some things that have happened. Gas prices down. Economic indicators are decent. Brand new jobs report shows that's much better than expected. And border crossings are down. And now Trump's mega spending bill looks like it's going to be passed by Republicans. How do you Democrats fight back with the wins that Trump can tout?
Well, it depends on how you define wins, Sarah. I mean, the way I can summarize this big ugly bill best is Republicans caved, Trump lied, and people will die.
How you define win. Of course they don't think it's a win.
It's funny how she said, how do you Democrats fight back? How do y'all? You should have said
can't
we
fight back.
How do we? Y'all fight back, basically. You should, because y'all together. You should have said we.
The big beautiful bill passing is like one of their worst nightmares because what was it, 150 billion to border to ICE? Oh yeah, the roundup's finna get crazy. They said we're about to see border enforcement and deportations on steroids. Yeah, that's that a bad thing? Are we supposed to be upset about that? 78 million people voted for exactly that. So I mean, we're getting what we want here. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime. Sounds like a win to me.
And if they're not getting them immigrants in, they not getting them votes.
Yeah.
What do you make of Hakeem Jeffries at the podium for more than an hour trying to discredit this bill right now?
Well, Maria, I'm not going to take firefighting advice from an arsonist. The Democrats had the majorities. They blew out the budget. They had the tons of wasteful spending, and we inherited a mess. And under President Trump's leadership, along with Speaker Johnson, Leader Thune, we are going to get the economy humming again via the private sector. This is a Main Street Working America bill. It is going to address the affordability crisis. We are going to increase working people's wages. And, you know, the Democratic Party at present doesn't stand for anything. They're just against everything. And you know, let's see where the economy is this time next year. Yeah. I think this bill, over the next year, we are going to see growth like we have not seen, and importantly, it is going to be non-inflationary growth, which is something that Democrats couldn't do.
On this vote, the yeas are 218, the nays are 214. The motion is adopted.
Mr. Speaker, being provided by Planned Parenthood, the medical care being provided by Planned Parenthood. Speaker, that's not what this country should be all about. Manu wasn't the only one. The only American citizen who's been targeted by the deportation machine, a deportation machine that will be unleashed on steroids by this one big ugly bill.
It's pissing me off. What is in his mouth?
I could never.
We know that, in fact, is the case. That's not hyperbole.
I could never sit there for that shit, bro.
Oh, I would have been crazy.
I thank the gentleman from Missouri. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, Ronald Reagan said one time that no speech should be longer than 20 minutes, and unlike the Democrat leader, I'm going to honor my colleague's time and be a little more brief than that, all right?
He spoke for 8 hours.
I told you he did it past 6.
I ain't gonna lie, I would have been pissed
I just want to
off.
say something that many of us learned when we were children. We were taught, you know, it takes a lot longer to build a lie than to tell the simple truth.
Louisiana, it's 36, man.
What I'm talking about.
That's crazy.
I'm getting pissed off, man. USA.
My friends and colleagues on both sides of the aisle, we've waited long enough. Some of us have literally been up for days now. But this day is a hugely important one in the history of our nation. We have a big job to finish.
I would never be able to sit there for Hakeem, guys. I might be extremist, but if he kept going, bro,
And he was
he
having
would
food
have
in his
had to
mouth.
get one of them. Hey, come here, Hakeem. He would have had to. I don't want to be extremist, bro.
Chill out, bro.
Somebody should have got up and said, come here.
I'm not gonna lie. When he would have paused and he would have been like, and he was talking, I would have been in there like, oh.
You'd be a
Hey, bro, I couldn't do this shit.
You be
on
childish.
God,
You be
I
childish.
have to sit behind this mic forever, guys. Do not send me to some shit like this.
They would have to kick
Do
me
not,
out,
no,
bro.
for real.
I would've got
Like for real, guys. Nah, for real.
People gonna be laughing.
I would have got kicked out. For
Yeah.
real, for
15
sure.
years from now, when I'm 40, I would not be able to do this shit, guys. I don't think, you know what? I might not run
You
for
might be
nothing.
chilling,
I couldn't run for nothing. Because if I have to deal with the people, pussies like Hakeem and Cory Booker, I'm getting kicked out for sure, bro.
You know,
on,
it's
bro.
interesting. Cory Booker's a weenie because he played football.
Yeah.
He played football. He must got CTE.
Like, bro.
So the whole 8 hours he had gum in his mouth, chewing and speaking, bro, that would have irritated the F out of me.
Bro, I'm not trying to incite no violence, y'all.
Oh,
but
my God.
man, some of these guys, they might need to just go on here. Some of them with the come here, hey, just sit down, bro.
Chill out, bro.
Just sit down.
See,
bro.
that's why they don't need you. Up there,
Yeah,
bro.
they don't need me up there.
They need
Al
leave-
Green, all them
they
talking,
need
bro.
leave you at
I'm
home.
taking canes. I'm hitting. I'm like, soon as they come out the door, come here, bro. Soon as they come out the door,
You're
hey,
good.
why you did that? Why? He the type of person you gotta bully, bro. You gotta bully. Come here, bro.
And they gonna take a lot of money from you.
Well,
Why you doing
that's
that?
why I wouldn't be out there,
They
bro.
been
That's
suing-
why I
they
wouldn't do
been
this
suing
shit, bro.
that ass.
Because
They been
y'all
saying-
are strong, bro. What Scott Jennings deal with, what Trump deal with. Because Trump could be, why he look like Jake Tapper, bro?
Kind of does.
He does like a young Jake Tapper.
Kinda does a little
But like,
bit.
not for real though. Like, honestly, guys, I could not deal with this shit, bro. Because like hearing ALC scream, I'll be in there hey, bitch, shut up!
Oh, wow.
Oh God,
Yeah, they
hey, bro,
throwing
I
you
couldn't do
out.
that shit because I
They
couldn't
throwing
sit
you out.
there, bro.
Wow.
I could not sit there and listen to that shit,
That's
bro.
crazy,
I could
bro.
never, bro. I could
crazy.
never sit there and listen to this shit, guys. Oh man, pussy shit just kind of like irritates my soul, and I have to let it just be known, guys. Especially on this level, guys. If I can walk away, fine. But this type of shit you can't walk away from. They're telling this like they're not telling the truth. That's what make it worse.
People are going to have their SNAP and WIC cut back. People are going to go hungry. People are going to get sick on a scale unlike anything we've ever seen. And all of it is just to finance tax cuts for billionaires and the wealthiest corporations who don't even need it. I don't think I've ever seen, I don't think we have ever seen or are prepared for how catastrophic this is set to be for a lot of people. And I think it's devastating. And they're talking about this as though it's some tax cut. Even the stuff that they're talking about, taxes on tips, no tax on tips, that's only for people, that's only up to $25,000. And if you're making less than that, you're already kind of exempt from a lot of these things in the first place. So they're giving people crumbs and they're taking away the whole loaf. And it's just a genuinely really sad day for our country.
What about Leader Jeffrey's final message, looking ahead to 2026, 2028?
I would be like how they're being childish. I would be childish too, bro. I'm type. I bring the gloves up there. I have 4 gloves. Here you go, ALC. Here you go, MTG. Let's go ahead and get him, bro.
Oh,
I'm
I'd rather see her and Jasmine Crockett.
I'm tired of all this talking, bro. But even though, you know, the approval rating is going our way, I could just shut up and let the Democrats just die. But nah, bro.
Die is crazy.
The party gonna eventually die if they don't change this shit from what's been happening. But yeah, man, I'm tired of all this talking, man. We need to see somebody in the ring, man. And that's not even extreme, man. You know what they had to do back in the day to solve, you know, the differences. They had to have a civil war. Let's just box it out, bro.
It's more different, though.
Yeah, that's, you know, I guess.
It's more different, though.
It is different. It is different.
They had to slaughter behind that. It was over with. Yeah, you trying to break our union, boy?
This is going to be about potentially millions of people losing their jobs. It's going to be about millions of people losing their savings, many of people losing their retirement security, and at the same time taking on even higher costs for everything they buy. So that's going to push us in potentially to foreclosures or people being pushed out of their apartments. You know, I remember this from 2008 and how long it took us to dig our way out. And to this day, there are families, there are communities that still haven't recovered. Recessions can be all those fancy charts and graphs, but at the end of the day, people feel them one person at a time, and they can be devastating.
Several months later.
Listen to this, 147,000 jobs on non-farm. That is well above the estimates of 110,000. The unemployment rate went down to 4.1%. The expectation was it was going to tick up to 4.3%.
You expected some of this, but this is better than expected?
Yeah, Sarah, it is. Look, this jobs market is like the Energizer Bunny. Every single time we expect it to run out of steam, it just keeps going and going. So these new numbers show that the U.S. economy added 147,000 jobs in June. That was well ahead of the expectation of about 118,000, well ahead of some whispers that we heard on Wall Street of a sub 100,000 number. So this is indeed beating expectations. We were also expecting a slowdown. We did not get that. This is basically in line with May, which was revised higher. It's also good news. The unemployment rate was expected to go up. It didn't. It went down to 4.1%. That is a very healthy number. This is still relatively historically low. And again, it's below the 4.3% that we had expected. When we look at the trend in the jobs market, you can see that things have slowed down from last year, but not in an alarming fashion, right? We did expect to have weaker numbers here in the last few months. And so really things are holding up a lot better than feared. The unemployment rate, again, it's nowhere near where it was a few years ago. It does remain, look at this, the unemployment rate, it's still hovering at very low levels.
If she was y'all neighbor and she came outside talking to y'all about this,
I would be irritated.
Would you listen to this lady about anything?
Oh, okay, yes, ma'am. Yes,
the way
ma'am.
she talks, would you listen to her about anything?
She'd be like, you guys need to listen to this because you're black. It's going to affect you more.
And
That's type of shit she'll say to you.
we would listen to you.
Am I wrong?
We should listen to you, Elizabeth, about how the country should be ran. And I wouldn't listen to you if you were my neighbor.
I would be annoyed.
Damn.
Come on.
Not your neighbor.
I would here go this old woman.
I would listen to her about how to water my damn flowers. That's it.
I'm gonna make a good little pie for her, you know.
Yeah. Teach me something about that, Elizabeth. Because I know y'all don't believe. Maybe they do believe the shit they be saying, but maybe they don't.
Bro, I think they truly believe it, bro.
Well,
the stuff I've been seeing on these streets.
You know what? I truly believe what I say, and you know what? I get in the gloves for it. So if you believe what you say, hit the gloves and let's fight for it.
That's
then,
not
because you truly don't believe it.
It's not silver, bro. We trying to be, more
Hey,
silver.
well, okay, you're right, man.
What's the suit stand for? Or diplomatic?
Again, since March and before, there were predictions that the tariffs. Now, granted, a lot of them have been pulled back. Most of them have been pulled back. But all that tariff policy was going to lead perhaps to inflation, would lead to job losses. The predictions of doom, that doom just hasn't happened yet.
Never will.
It hasn't happened. And, John, I've been doing a lot of reporting on this topic. And what I'm hearing is that for the last few years, really since COVID, but even before, companies have realized that their supply chains can be interrupted for lots of reasons, for a virus, for a geopolitical event, for a war, for a climate event. And so they've been using technology to really streamline things. They've been getting their systems in place, and there's just a lot more efficiency in the system now. In some ways, I think this is a triumph of business and how business has been optimizing. Now, that said, when we think about who's going to do well in this period, it's going to be big businesses. I am hearing that there's more pressure on small and mid-sized businesses that will be far less able to cope with whatever tariff inflationary impact we do see. That concerns me because small and mid-sized businesses are what fuels a lot of communities around the country. If you see them going under because they can't take even a little bit of tariff pressure, that could have a jobs impact. So again, optimistic right now, but it's, there are some issues on the horizon still.
All right, but a good jobs report, one more good jobs report.
Yeah.
We've really seen a long run here. We're talking years long run here of this at this point.
It has been a resilient first half of the year for the U.S. jobs market, despite all the questions about tariffs and everything else. Let's just start with the numbers. Walk us through this jobs report.
I mean, I think resilient is the word. 147,000 jobs added. That's right in line with the average for the past year of about 146,000. That jobless rate fell a little bit. Average hourly earnings still a little light, but still, that's your paycheck. The paycheck growing 3.7% over the past year. So if you have a job, you're being compensated for it. So the headlines here are all pretty sturdy. Also, the month of May was revised higher, kind of defying expectations. But you dig in these numbers, private sector was not what was really driving things. It was state government jobs driving this job growth. So seeing the weakest private sector job growth since last October.
Yeah, it's okay. All right, you guys suck. Let's look at what the big, beautiful bill did for small businesses. Since you guys claim the tariffs and all that, and what Trump's doing is going to affect.
Let's just read the bold print.
Small
Permanent
businesses.
extension and increase of small business deduction, restoration of immediate expensing for investment, immediate expensing for research and development, interest increased, estate tax exemption, child care and paid leave support, no tax on tips and overtime, reduction of regulatory burdens.
Okay, we can go on and on. We can go on and on.
Oh, we got a lot.
But
That's a big bill.
Read this right here.
This protects family-owned small businesses, which are often asset-rich but cash-poor, from the 40% estate tax when passing the business to the next generation. This provision supports approximately 2 million small family-owned businesses. Small family-owned farms and businesses, reducing the need to liquidate assets or take loans to cover tax liabilities. That's huge. That's a huge win right there.
Wow. So if our parents die and they leave us something,
You gotta
and you
pay
know
the
how
tax
you get
on
that
it. You gotta pay the estate tax.
So it just cut all that out for us. Really.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow,
So you
man.
could actually leave something back for your kids without it getting capital gains tax on
It's
it.
an
That's-
estate tax.
State tax. Okay.
Look at the liberal media lying. Not surprised. They're going to stop one day. One day they will.
We'll see. Probably not in our lifetime.
Damn. I just want to know what y'all think about this, though, guys. This was on CNN today. There's a funny clip from Sky. What do you guys think about this?
I think we need restrictions on, if you're over the age of 21 and you go to Disneyland or Disney World and you don't have children, straight to Alligator Alcatraz, El Salvador.
But have you ever been to Epcot?
I'm just saying, this is weird. And talk about people that get in the way of things. You're trying to take your kids there and you got these weirdos walking around. I'm just saying.
Go to Epcot. It's great for grown-ups, okay?
I think we need...
Nah, that was hilarious, guys. What do y'all think about that in the comments, though? I mean, hey, I think hey, if you don't have kids or a girlfriend, don't let this guy in. Somebody, who are you here with? Well, they could just lie. That's not going to happen. That's why it's not. They said it was
They would
on
lose
the.
too much business, bro.
But yeah, because that's impossible. Because a person could just say, I got family in there, man. Well, what am I supposed to do? That's not going to happen.
Tell
but,
them to come to the front.
It is some weirdos out here, though, guys. Hey, man, nothing but dubs. We wake up every day. It's a new day. And it's a dub every day.
Facts.
So, I mean, there's nothing else to be said, guys. Let us know what y'all think in the comments.